What is up, everybody? It is Brian with First Shot Tactical, back with another video for you here today. And today we are doing a quick video on my top recommendations or modifications to do with a brand new AR-15. So I'm gonna break this down as my top 5 here, and we're gonna talk about how it may differ a little bit, but generally speaking, these are my 5 go-to for any AR that you might wanna pick up. So with that, let's go ahead and get into it. First thing, as you can see, I do have my Aero Precision 10.5-inch AR to showcase here as far as what mods I put on it and which ones I recommend. And let's go ahead and kick this off with number 5 on my list. Number 5 on my list is all the way at the front end, and that is a light. So on my AR setup here, I have a budget-friendly Streamlight ProTac HLX, I believe it is. This is a 1000 lumen light, and that's the other thing I want to point out. I definitely recommend 1000 lumens. You could do 500, but I would typically put 500 lumens on like a pistol or something, but on an AR, I think 1000 lumens is perfect. Any brighter, you're probably gonna get some whitewash and it does no good. The other thing to note here is I do have set up a pressure pad on it, so I can do momentary on, off, as well as I have a button here for permanent on and permanent off, which makes turning it on and off very easy and accessible. So if you're setting up your AR for home defense, 110%, this should probably be like number 2 on your list actually. You gotta have a light on it. You can't shoot what you can't see, and you wanna identify if it is a threat or not before you go blasting through the hallways of your home. So definitely have a light on your gun. That being said, if this is like your 5th AR in your collection, you probably don't need a light on every single AR unless you're looking to arm, all 5 of your family members if you have them. So keep that in mind. If this is your home defense gun, definitely have a flashlight. If this is just like a range gun, you can probably skip that one. Coming in at number 4 on my list here is magazines. When I bought my AR originally, it came with like 10 mags, so I was pretty well set there, and then obviously I picked up more over the years, whether it be like some Duramag steel ones. These are some Magpul, just standard default ones. You can get these for like $10 a piece, or if you want to get fancy, get some with the clear windows. Any of those would be good options. Typically speaking, steel mag or the plastic Magpul ones, I would recommend the Magpul ones. Well tested, well used, and very durable. So that's number 4 on my list, magazines. Get yourself about 10 or more of those and keep them loaded. You never know when you might need them. Moving along now to number 3 on my list. Number 3 is an internal component, and that is the trigger. So on any of your firearms, having a good trigger is super important. There's nothing worse than having some crappy, mushy trigger in a gun and you don't even know when the round's gonna go off. So do yourself a favor on your AR, get yourself a decent trigger. My favorite pull weight on a trigger is 3.5 pounds, and that's what I have on this one here. This is a Hyperfire 3.5 pound performance trigger. But nowadays there's a bunch of companies making AR triggers and they're actually not too expensive, such as Rise Armament. You can get a full drop-in trigger that's very easy to install. Timony triggers, Geisley triggers, and there's a bunch more that you can find online. But typically speaking, I would stick with that 3.5 pound pull weight, maybe 4. That's my preferred in all my ARs, and it's gonna go a long ways as far as helping you have a better rifle setup. Now, taking a look at number 2 on my list. Number 2 on my list is a sling. And as you can see here, mine is all set up on this side of my AR because I am right-handed. If you're left, it'd be on this side. But the reason I put the sling on my list so high is because when you have even 1 AR or 5 ARs, when you're using it, it's just a pain in the butt if you have to throw it in the dirt or hand it to somebody else. You've got to be able to shoulder it, put it on your back, something when you need to use your hands for, let's say, marking a target or, strangling a bad guy if you wanted to do that or had to. So that's why having a sling is one of those must-haves, I would say, for any AR. Whether you have 1 or 5 ARs, like I said, I would have a sling on every single one of those setups and have a dedicated one for each of those setups. So that way it's always ready to use and you're mobile with it if you need to use that firearm. And the sling that I'm specifically running on this setup here, this is a Neomag Scout Sling and Scout Pad, as well as you can see here, this black strap, this is called their Sentry Strap, and I cannot recommend this thing enough for all ARs with a sling as well. What this guy does, especially for, shorter barreled rifles, is it's a magnet, and it's almost like a trapper keeper type thing to keep that sling all mushed up here, so that way this isn't flopping about when it's not in use. Or if you have this in a car, this isn't gonna get caught around a seat belt or on a hook somewhere when you're trying to grab this out. So definitely recommend the Sentry Strap on any one of your ARs to help manage your sling. As far as this sling, like I said, it's the Neomag Scout Sling, and it's all nylon. There's no metal on it. As you can see, it's just plastic, buckles, and receivers. And I like that about it. It's a lightweight option. You can quickly throw on. It does have an adjuster tab here like this where you can tighten it up if needed or loosen it back. But either way, it's just a great option for a lightweight one. And also I love the FDE to match the whole getup on the AR, so you can't go wrong with that either. All right, rounding this list out here and coming to our #1 pick on my list for your AR here. And I have such a hard time talking about this one. You can probably guess what I'm gonna say here because in a lot of my videos I say the same thing. #1 is Optic. I hate optics so much because they're just so expensive for whatever reason, but they are so necessary in my opinion. Sure, you can use your iron sights if you want to go that route, but my logic is more it's the 21st century and there is awesome technology with optics to help you, so you might as well utilize them. So again, optics is #1 on my list here, and specifically on my setup, I have the Holosun 510C red dot, so there's no magnification on this one. It does have like a donut of death reticle on it, which is nice, or you can change that between just a dot or a 32 MOA circle. So you do have options from that standpoint. The only thing I'd say about choosing an optic, obviously you can get one off Amazon for 25 bucks, or you can spend about $300 on this or $600, $700 on an EOTech. The one phrase I hated in the gun industry, but I've learned to adopt, is the buy once, cry once mentality. And with optics, it is 100% true. I do have some Amazon optics that I've put on some guns, tried them out. Some are actually decent. So depending on the rifle setup that you have, again, if this is like your 5th AR and it's just a range toy, you know, pop whatever, you know, buy like a $60, $90 optic, put it on there. But by all means, if this is a duty rifle, your home defense rifle, get a Holosun, get an EOTech, get an aim point or a primary arms, spend the extra money and you'll thank me later for it. That being said, talking a little bit about what kind of optic to get, as I mentioned, this is a red dot. You could also get the holographic red dot, which is the EOTech. Both of those are just 1x magnification. There's no zoom on it. Or nowadays you could also get a LPVO, low powered variable optic, and that'll go from 1x all the way to like 4, 6, or even 8x. So you can have a little bit more range if it's a longer setup. For my purposes, this is a 10.5-inch AR, like I said, so I'm not doing any long distance shooting, probably just out to about 100, 200 yards max. So a red dot for this gun is perfect. So if you have a longer rifle, like a 16-inch rifle, I'd probably do like an LPVO or a red dot with like a 3x magnifier. But again, for this case, this is just a 100 range and under gun, so red dot is just perfect in that use case. All right, so that does it for this quick top list here today. I'll be updating these videos and, you know, kind of changing some thoughts on these down the road, but obviously there's a lot of other cool things you can add. Let me know what I missed down in the comments. As seen on this gun here, I got a bunch of cool like grips, like this ladder rail, this FDE side paneling, and then obviously a grip here as well. A lot of cool things you can do about it. You can add to an AR, and I think that's the coolest thing about this platform. It's so customizable, and there's a large market for all these products. So it's kind of hard not to add, 20 bucks, let me add this on there. Another 20 bucks, let me add this on there. But as far as getting to the bare bones necessities, that's why I wanted to make this video and talk over today with you. If this was helpful, like and subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate that. If you're looking for some more videos on Aero Precision ARs or some AR setups, check out my other videos. Got a bunch of other ones, how-to videos as well, if you're looking to build one. And again, let me know down in the comments if you do need help. As always, have fun shooting, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.